Howdy. I'm spray foaming the trailer today, so that's a lot of fun. I taped back up the insulation. I used duct tape and wedged it in. This stuff was fine. As you know, if you've been watching, we had mold problems. There was a couple of leaks in the roof. I flex sealed the roof. That's in another video if you want to see. It turned out fine as far as I know. No leaks yet, but no real rainstorms, so hopefully that holds. This is the barren wall. I flex sealed up here some seams because that's where the rust streams were, so I'm assuming that's where the leak was. And I just spray foamed a little bit. So first I used the smaller can of great stuff here. It's a 12-ounce can. That's the can that I used first. I had it left over. I guess I bought it to fill some gaps and never used it, so I had that left over. So I did this this bit here, like this 1/3 of I forget what it's called, whatever, this little wall piece here, and a third here. And this actually expanded quite a bit, much more than I thought it was, because this I did a year ago, this middle part, and it did not expand that much. So it was very poofy. I also did this little rail here, and I'll show you. It expanded quite a bit. I don't know if I sprayed more at the bottom or the weight kind of shoved it out. I'm not sure. So we'll see with the other one. Then for the next part, I had a bigger can, which is 16 ounces of great stuff. It had some weird tip to the end of the straw, and I wish I kept it. I threw it out, but it had some yellow top to the red straw, and it wasn't coming out. So I was gonna throw it out, and I messed with the top, and all of a sudden it just shot across the garage. So apparently with the yellow top on that, it's some sort of resealable top that you have to pull out slightly or twist. I'm not even sure what I did. So anyway, so that big can only did this much of this tiny wall. So I started at the bottom, obviously, and worked my way up. And I just finished that like maybe 2 minutes ago. So I don't know how much expanding it's going to do. It's kind of sticking out in places, you know, where the loop fell like that. Oh, and I missed a bit there. So I'll just see. I don't know if that's going to expand and fill that, but I'll give it however long, and then I'll hit the gaps with some fill-in for great stuff. So I don't know. I mean, I only have 1 inch of clearance here. I'm going to have to cut away some of it, and we'll see. But that should be more thorough than doing the foam, I guess, right? Because it'll fill in all sorts of gaps. And also, when there was rust here from the leak, there was no rust underneath the great stuff foam. So I guess the foam attaches to the metal in such a way that the moisture didn't get under it, which I didn't know that it's waterproof. Maybe I did. Anyway, that makes sense, but that's another pro of doing the foam. So I'll let you know how many cans it takes, but that was a big can there, and you know, the small can did basically would have done that whole overhead section, I guess, if I hadn't. I think maybe I was going too slow when I was spraying this in, and that's why. I mean, let me show you this way. It's kind of weird angle, but see how much it's overflowing? It's quite a bit. That's crazy. So I'm gonna have to cut all that off, so that's kind of a waste. But and then that thin channel. So yeah, so I have to foam in these walls. Then I can get new wood or see if I can sand off all there's just a little bit of rot, all the mildew, mold. I don't know if that comes out of wood. I'm gonna have to ask a pro. I mean, obviously it's better to replace it than repair it. So, and then I run these 1x3s, I think, across, and then I put a 1/2 inch of foam this way. So I'm gonna have to put those back up, and I run the foam obviously. Well, not obviously, but I run it in the other direction. Like this is, well, that's the piece from over there. Anyway, so I run 1/2 inch of foam this way to cover the metal beams, so there's no transfer of heat from the ceiling through the beams right into the area, the living space. So I have to put those beams back up, put the 1/2 inch in, put the wood on the walls, panel, build the beds and the cabinets and the counter. Oh yeah, it should just take a couple days. Yeah. Okay. So at least it's 95 degrees. So that's a big plus. If you're gonna do a project like this, spring and fall I would say is probably ideal. So July, not the ideal month to do this, but you gotta do what you gotta do, right? See you next time.